around, and that's going to cause these little bits of storms to fire up here. So lightning and rain for us in the northeast. As this all is going to continue to progress throughout the lakes, it kind of falls apart as it makes its way into the northeast, especially into the afternoon hours. But boom, get some of that daytime heating, and then that's going to help us out here a little bit. And you could see some heavier downpours for us into the northeast and the Midwest. Reynolds, let's go city by city now.
Never give a sloppy Joe to a 3-year-old. Just take my word for it seriously as a dad. All right, the way it's going to go for you in Buffalo, man, we're talking about kind of a stinky forecast going from Friday all the way into Saturday. Showers and storms just pummeling the area. Temperatures pretty much on the, I guess, pleasant side, some 70s, some 60s, but it is going to be kind of a humid air mass, to say the least. Then as we jump our way into Pittsburgh, the way it's going to go for you, thunderstorms into Friday with a little bit of sunshine, a chance of the storms early into Friday evening. They're going to be back in business. You will be in terms of the storms for Saturday. Then Saturday evening, they begin to fizzle out. Burlington, beautiful Burlington, not so beautiful weather for Friday into Saturday. Saturday, the storms backloaded later in the day, but Sunday, beautiful conditions along the shores of Lake Champlain. For Portland, Oregon, thunderstorms for Friday and Saturday. Sunday, probably your best day of the forecast. Stephanie going with 86 and partly cloudy, Steph.
All right, well, coming up next on AMHQ, hail hammers the heartland from shattered windshields to screens weighed down by hailstones. Look at that. We've got to look at the damage from back-to-back storms coming up at 10 past the hour and where flood threat remains. At first, you know, Jim, I thought that was a trampoline, but it looks like it's more of a screened-in area over something, not a trampoline.
Little screened-in area. I don't think that would have done well yesterday in Omaha. They had ping pong ball, baseball size hail, huge hail in the Omaha metropolitan area yesterday. Let's talk about the Northeast, though, for tomorrow, because our threat just gets worse. Steph talked about how all the moisture is coming back. It is coming back in a big, big way in through here. And out ahead of the front, we'll have severe weather potentially from Burlington all the way down to the lower Ohio Valley. So that's what we're looking at. So let's take a look at this. Again, we're starting this at Saturday at midnight. So, you know, tonight, midnight, ongoing storms in Ohio and Kentucky. They're pushing east. Here we are, daylight. Boom. Right around lunchtime, central, eastern New York, pushing across northern New England with some pretty heavy rain. Could be some damaging winds and also some hail with these storms. Can't rule out an isolated tornado. Look at what happens here, guys, with the moisture. This huge tongue of moisture comes right up into New England here. So any kind of repeating storms that we get during the day on Saturday are going to produce some very, very heavy rain. As a matter of fact, flood watches are out for upstate New York and northern Vermont. Steph?
All right, let's have a look at how people are going to be dealing with July 4th travel. And here's a look at our radar right now. So we've broken it down region by region to show you what you are going to be dealing with through the day today. Let's now get a little more detailed in the airport. So Minneapolis, you are green light go. Down into Houston, we are seeing also green light go. This is kind of like playing a video game, right? Today, we could see some problems maybe in Indianapolis, down towards St. Louis. There could be some issues at the airport. Tomorrow, it's all going to be pushing into the northeast. So if you're thinking, I don't want to travel on Friday. Everyone travels on Friday. I'm going to travel on Saturday. You could run into some issues. Watertown, Syracuse, I-81, we could have some problems. In the south, this is all kind of hit and miss. So I wouldn't stress too much about it on Sunday. And then on Monday in the Midwest, again, we could have heavier rains here and there, but it is scattered. And I think that is what the key is. And on Tuesday, also scattered here along I-70. And Reynolds will have a closer look at more 4th of July forecasts coming up.
All right, Steph, thanks so much. Hey, coast to coast now with these weather headlines. A scary sight for beachgoers in Okaloosa Island, Florida. This happened earlier this week. You had sharks that were swimming in shallow water. Very close to these swimmers. You can spot not just one, not just two, but 3 sharks in the video. But the Arkansas tourist who took this video says there were actually as many as 7. And they swam around the ankle-deep water for about 10 minutes. Well, Facebook's IKEA drone has completed its 2nd test flight. The solar power, it's pretty awesome. How awesome is that, guys?
That's
pretty much
incredible.
Well, it's a solar-powered plane. It's designed to remain aloft for 3 months at a time, bringing internet access to an area 60 miles wide. The drone's first test flight ended in a crash landing that prompted an NTSB investigation. The second test flight landed successfully last month. Stephanie, over to you.
Coming up next here on AMHQ, tricky travel in the south today. The I-85 metro area, I-85 in the Atlanta metro area is expected to be a parking lot this afternoon. And that's without weather issues. We'll have up-to-the-minute road conditions in the south as millions of you look to get away for the holiday weekend. That's at 20 minutes past the hour. But first, we are going to have a look at what's happening with your local forecast. We're going to be back in literally 1 minute.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, morning thunderstorms. High 82. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, partly cloudy. Saturday, mainly sunny. High 86. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Oh my, take a look at this. Storms triggering flash flooding on the streets of Biloxi, Mississippi. And as you can tell, the water nearly up to the wheel wells in some of the cars. More than 4 inches of rain pummeled the area just yesterday. And Stephanie, rain and storms, they are back again for the Southland for much of the day.
I mean, and listen, Biloxi, Mississippi, somewhere they don't need any more rain. We've had a lot here over just the last month. By the way, July 1st, that's not today, is it? No. July 1st is tomorrow. Gosh, how are we already in July? 24-hour rainfall here. You can see that we have seen some patches of heavier rain, showers into Atlanta, and this is how it's going to be on and off stuff for us through the southeast. Remember, we have this very stretched out and strung out low pressure in the southeast. It is not very pretty looking, and that's why the weather's not very pretty. We also have high pressure off to our east pulling at the moisture. So with those two things combined, this is what we're getting. And this is exactly where that upper level low is kind of stretched out, but it's not very strong. So that's why it's just showers. Now, throw in a little heat to that, and you could get some thunderstorms as you head into the afternoon hours. So let's have a look at our radar here into the 1 o'clock hour. You see some of these storms starting to kind of fire up Florida, Georgia, South Carolina type of a thing. So there's the rain for us and the thunderstorms through the day today. That upper level low kind of moves out, but we're still going to see that moisture being pumped in by our high pressures. So it is going to stay unsettled as we head through the weekend. Let's talk more about those weekend storms with Jim.
All right, let's take a look at them again. Showers and thunderstorms will be effervescent, to say the least, on Saturday. Remember, we got the front that's coming down to the south. It's kind of dying out. It's kind of washing out and through here. Plus, you've had all this deep tropical moisture that's come north, so that's already in place. Ongoing thunderstorm clusters and things like that. So tomorrow is just not going to be the best day, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're in North Georgia, at Lake Blue Ridge, or if you're on over to the beautiful lakes or up on the Tennessee River, if you will, in northern Alabama along the Tennessee border, it's just going to be kind of ugly. As we get into Sunday, some improvements will be a little bit more widely scattered. Then on Monday, you'll notice a little bit of high pressure kind of nosing down in through here. So you get a break in North Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, Birmingham, not so much. The Florida Panhandle, not so much. But again, it's not going to be an all-day washout like what we're seeing in through here. So the best guess for you is to actually head to the beaches, enjoy the time in the morning. You'll get the sea breeze storms in the afternoon in many of these areas. A little bit more widespread, a little bit more cloudy, unfortunately, in the southern Appalachians. So here you go. Saturday, forget it. In Atlanta. Sunday, okay, better chance. We actually even do have some sun icon in there. Monday, we drop the rain chances. All right, so that's good. Tuesday, we bring the thunderstorm chances back, but notice those morning lows sitting there in the 70s. That means the juice is back to squeeze, so no beautiful weather like we had earlier this week. Miami, I would take my chances with, but also very, very humid. If we get below 80, it will be a small miracle in the morning rentals. It's going to be pretty hot, pretty steamy.
I believe it, Jim. Thanks so much. Severe storms target the heartland for a second day yesterday. New this morning, residents are recovering from what's proving to be a very stormy week.
The Midwest hammered once again Thursday. Hail collecting in the netting over a patio in one Kansas City yard. And in Sioux City, Iowa, not just pea-sized hail, but quarter-sized pellets too. With hail that big, it's no surprise you saw splashing like this on swamp sidewalks. In Omaha, huge hail, baseball size, spotted in Douglas County. Hail that big, shattering the back window of a car. And like they did Wednesday, tornado sirens sounded once again, this time in Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Colorado. Even Mississippi getting in on the severe weather as storm clouds gathered over the Gulf Coast Thursday, and boy did they deliver. Enough rain to fill streets, drivers splashing and making waves heading down the streets of Biloxi, Mississippi. Part of the state under a tornado warning for a time. And today, the threat for more storms from the Gulf Coast well inland. While towns from Rockport, Illinois, hit Wednesday by a flood emergency.
Now this morning, northern Missouri remains on flood alert. It's just north of I-70. The area's dealt with about a foot of rainfall in just the last 24 hours. And Jim has got more on that story, the flood threat.
Yeah, we even had water rescues a couple of times in the Kansas City metropolitan area because of the heavy rain. And it's interesting, too, because if you look, this is 2-day rainfall. This is, let's see here, what is this, Friday? So Wednesday, and this is Thursday down and through here. So look at how close those areas were. Sometimes they line up back over each other, and we've got a disaster on our hands. So here is Macon, vehicle water rescued from Business 36 and US 63. This was at 2:45, so this wasn't too long ago, obviously, in the middle of the night. A lot of that heaviest rain has pushed on to the east. This little tail came sneaking up into Kansas City, and now it's pushed to the east. So here's the heavy convective rain with the wind. This is the leading edge of your MCS here. Back behind stratiform rain, light to moderate rain, working its way to the east. Sometimes it contains a little bit of lightning too. Now, where the line starts to bow, this is where the damaging wind threat is, pretty much right on the leading edge of that, getting ready to come in towards Springfield. This is going to be minimal severe, probably winds up to 60 miles per hour if you get that high a gust. Dallas, Greene, also Polk counties, again, moving into Springfield probably in the next 20 minutes. Steph, over to you.
Well, you need to pack your patience this morning and also as you head out for the holiday weekend, as over 44 million people plan to travel. We've got storms from the plains to the northeast. We'll let you know who may be looking at potential flight delays and possible traffic, so stay tuned for that. What is on social media this morning? Reynolds has a look.
Yeah, let's do that. We start off with this large hail that rained down in Papillon, Nebraska. This happened yesterday. Lucy saw golf ball sized hail outside her home. Look how spiky these things are. Yeah, hailstone close to the size of a softball also reported in the area. And you know, we're suckers for a great Mattis picture. And check these out. This is fantastic. This appeared in Worthington, Minnesota last night near sunset. You guys could deal with more of those storms today with a high of 76. Thanks so much for sharing those images. You can keep them coming by tagging us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We have options.